Thanks for coming round. We'll make you laugh before you go. Welcome to the Mermen. Welcome to the show.
Okie dokie. Oh, that was a bad one.
You suck.
That was a bad one.
Let me show you how to do it.
We should clean these out once.
Let me show you how to do it. Here. Here's how you do it.
Pew! All right.
Now starting the Mermen podcast.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm in a good mood today. You in a good mood?
Okay, I played golf already.
Hey, that's a good way to start your day always, man. I love playing golf in the morning.
I'm terrible at golf, but I enjoy playing it, and I played at Penmar.
Penmar's good little course. I play there with Greg Fitzsimmons.
Nine holder.
Yeah.
Where's it? Santa Monica, you would call it?
Santa Monica. And it's long. It's longer.
It's right near the Santa Monica airport. That's where Harrison Ford
landed his plane.
on that
right?
golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just walked out, say, what's up?
Man, there was, during the pandemic, there were serious homeless encampments, like, all around the golf course.
Oh, yeah?
So it was like you were playing golf, and then you just saw all this, like, you know, homelessness around. And they had, like, tents that they built, and, like, their tents had a front door. They set up, like, permanent structures, basically.
Why do you think they were set up there?
I don't know. Big sidewalk. I saw a dude, like, sweeping the sidewalk in front of his, like, tent.
Gotta keep it clean, dude.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
Taking pride in his space.
There was where I used to live in Atwater Village. I would ride my bike across this, like, it was a foot bike bridge, and on the other side was for horses over the LA River. And I'd ride up and down the LA River there. It was like a 2-lane, like, bike path going in both directions. And there's a couple of homeless encampments there. And some people would, you know, there was one guy. I mean, if you're mentally ill, which many homeless people are, there was one guy that was just like, it looked like he was intentionally littering, like it was just shit strewn everywhere and in the river, or whatever. But then he'd be next to this insane encampment where a guy's sweeping every day.
Yeah,
I would see him cleaning up when I'd ride the bike by, and I'm like, that guy must fucking hate. It's like it's like having a neighbor still, but you're like homeless, and you're like, this fucking guy doesn't mow his lawn and shit. You're like,
different levels of homelessness. I volunteered in a homeless shelter through my 20s.
Why don't you do it here?
Well, I mean, I just had more free time back then.
I can hook you up.
All right. I wouldn't mind doing. There's some organizations that feed homeless people out here, and I wouldn't mind volunteering my pitmaster skills.
Yeah, there's one LA Mission. You can do that one, and you can put together. They'll ask you for volunteers for the food lines, but also like to put together the kits, like the toiletry kits and stuff. And then you can sort like clothing and stuff like that. And then they had the homeless count recently, which always sounds bad. It sounds like,
what's that, like a census of homeless people?
It's a census, which is necessary, so you know how many homeless people
What
are.
a shitty way, like, we get a fancy word, like, oh, people in houses, we're taking a census. But the homeless people are like, we're just going to have a homeless count.
Yeah, you volunteer.
1, 2, 3, a million.
Not really. That's not exactly how you do it, but you do it with like in groups in a car. You go to certain sections, and then you count individuals. Sometimes you count like a structure, and if it's a structure, you don't go inside it. You just say, we didn't know how many people were in there, because you're not supposed to disturb them. But you're trying to get an idea of how many there are.
You just tell them, like, hey, man, I already counted you. Can I put this X on your hand or something like that? Like, how do they know they don't move?
Yeah, that sounds very concentration camp. Because it's all being done in one night by tons of people.
Oh, wow.
And so you just, regions are done each night, you know, and it's like in January, February, and it's usually colder then. So I think that's when they assume everyone's going to be like in the same spots and stuff.
Oh, yeah, they don't move as much.
Yeah, I guess that's why they do it. I don't know, but that's when they do it. Homeless count.
So
Volunteer.
When I was in my early 20s, I was doing sketch comedy in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're sitting outside the comedy club because a couple of guys are smoking cigarettes, drinking a beer, we're just hanging out waiting for the next show to start. And a homeless gentleman walked up to us, and he went, "Excuse me, can I have a minute of your guys' time?" And we were like, "Sure, whatever." He's like, "My name's Jerry. I'm in a program at the homeless shelter, and it's a creative writing program, and my works were selected." And he handed out packets. He had packets of poems he had written and short stories and all this stuff. and he's like, I was selected to go share my work at a convention in Washington, D.C., so I'm trying to raise money. And I was like, man, that's awesome. I gave him $20, and I'm looking through his stuff, and I'm like, hey, man, this is really fucking cool. Like, I want to get involved in this, right? So I called the homeless shelter on Monday, and I go, hey, I want to volunteer for your creative writing program. They go, what? I go, yeah, the program. I met a dude named Jerry, and he goes, they go, Jerry's still running that fucking scam. They're like, you got.
There was a guy.
But then they told me, they go, actually, someone approached us recently about maybe starting something here. Why don't we give you his number? So I called this dude, and he was a professor at UNC Charlotte. And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, I've been thinking about it. And if you'd help me, I'd love to do it. And I go, all right. So me and this dude started
for homeless people.
Yeah. So we started teaching creative writing classes at the homeless shelter once a week. And the thing that blew my mind the most was exactly what you said. There was just very different scenarios, like one guy just like, was a family man who lost his job and couldn't get back on his feet. Another person was mentally ill. Another person probably was a recovering drug addict. Just very different situations. But they all came into this class and had something to say and something to do. And were like fulfilled by having somewhere to be on Monday night at 7 p.m. And wanted to do poetry and stuff. The thing that blew my mind too is that they all had cell phones. And I was just like,
you get a burner phone.
I was like, if you're homeless, like how do you have and I realized like, oh, that just doesn't mean you don't have anything. You still have a phone to communicate and whatever.
Yeah, they've got, varying levels of possessions. And
yeah,
stuff.
I was just ignorant. There
was a guy, and also, by the way, I like it. They all had different stories. It'd be weird if they all had the same story. Like, we're all plumbers. Like, what the fuck's going on in the plumbing industry? That's like, there used to be a guy in South Miami. We had a nickname for him, but we'd see him everywhere, and he like kind of limped around.
Oh, I remember that guy. He was the artist dude.
No, he didn't do any art. He was he just like walked and had dragged his leg a little bit. And one day my friend, Charlie Burton's mom gave him some money, like $5 or something like that. And the guy took out a drug dealer wad of money. Yeah, he had to have thousands. And first of all, don't be walking around with that, bro. But he just took it out and just strapped it in. It was like, thanks. I was like, is this his thing? Like, he just keeps walking around.
There was a story on when we lived in Miami. I remember seeing it on the local. They have like the, not Help Me Howard, but Shame on You or whatever. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
They were following this one dude who was a notorious panhandler around South Florida.
Yeah.
And they followed him. He was panning for money and then walked around the corner and got into like his BMW or something. And I was like, man, that guy's got this shit figured out.
What's the most amount of money you've ever found?
Like found?
On the ground, yeah. Or anywhere. Yeah. Don't have to be on the ground, in the air. In a tree.
Maybe $100 or something.
$100?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would remember if it was any more than that.
Yeah, I found $2,700 one time.
What, in a briefcase?
At a gas pump. It was like a Shell station on US 1.
What'd you do with it?
It was wrapped in a rubber band. First of all, I wanted to do a joke at one point where I used to say I found money twice, but oh shit, I forgot about the $2,700 I found at a gas pump. And God, I can't believe I just remembered this at the gas pump. And I literally went up to the guy, in the booth there. It's fucking US 1. It was like 1 a.m. on US 1, I think like 130 something down there. And I go, hey, did anyone lose some money? And he goes, nah, no one said any, no one's come back, but I'll hold on to it. I go,
oh yeah, cool, thanks, man.
You hold on to 20. Like
I'll come back later, and if no one's claimed it, you can give it back to you. Yeah, no problem, man.
I didn't tell him how much it was, right? And I said, well, here's my number. If anybody comes back, just tell them to give me a call, whatever. And I took the money and I left, and then nobody called me for 24 hours. I thought 24 hours was a good window.
Yeah.
And then we had a big party. I think I got bottle service. I did what you're not supposed to do with it. Yeah. I spent all the money on my friends. Just went out and partied. Just alcohol, drugs, whatever. I was like, all right.
It wasn't
should have just bought something with it.
Was it in one of those broccoli rubber bands? Because that's what the mafia uses.
It was in a drug dealer rubber band. Yeah. I'm familiar with the drug world. So I was like, well, it is. You know what I thought? It was either a drug person, it was something illicit, or it was a stripper.
Oh, stripper makes sense.
And I felt bad if it was a stripper because if
she worked for it.
But $2,700 in one night of stripping, that's a good night of stripping. So I was more thinking it was drug money.
Sounds like South Florida.
Yeah, and then I forgot about this. When I was there, next to my house when I was a kid, there was supposed to be a street going through next to my house, but instead it was just like it was turned into a forest and never got developed. When I say forest, it was just like trees that were like 12, 15 feet high, and it was like about double the width of a street, right? And I used to play like in there, like build forts and play shit and stuff, do stuff in there. And I was in there one time, and we go all the way to the street to the front of our house. And eventually, all the 4 houses that it bordered on, my mom included, kept going to City Hall and like saying, "Look, if you're not going to use this or develop it ever, like deed it over to us." And it got deeded to my mom's house and stuff and the other people. So, but until that point, I was probably like 8 or 9. I was very young, and I found a suitcase. And I brought it in the house. I was playing out there. And it was filled with money and passports.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And my mom, I looked at one of the passports.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with you telling this story on the podcast.
Why?
These guys could still be looking for you.
They got it back.
Oh.
My mom somehow contacted him, like one of the people, like in the passports.
But was it shady shit? Was it like...
Of course it was. It was a fucking metal briefcase.
Well, your mom's just like, excuse me, I found your flea kit. Like,
it was a metal briefcase in the 80s in Miami that someone had tossed into the woods, like probably because they were getting...
I found your contingency plan if your deal didn't go well.
And the guy comes and gets it. And then my mom told me that he was like really like rude and whatever, didn't offer any like reward. And my mom was like, well, you should thank my son, whatever. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, why would you have said, I didn't know that. Why would you have said that? You're like demanding a thank you from a arm/drug dealer, whatever it was going on. And I guess the guy was like, thanks. Like that. I was like,
go work, kid.
And the reason that this just popped in my head is I remember telling my mom just being a smartass later on, she goes, what's your plan? To make money or whatever. And I just said, well, I'm just going to find like a briefcase full of money or a bag of money. And that's my plan for it. And she goes, you already did that. And I goes, what the fuck? And she told me, I'm like, that already happened and you didn't keep it? What the fuck?
Should have been my college fund.
Yeah, she would have kept it though. They probably would have knocked on the door. Like it's one of 2 houses. They're like, it's one of these 2 houses. Yeah. Like, no, we didn't find it. Like, that's a nice big screen TV you got there and your fucking kerosene heater that you got it next to it. Anyways, fun times.
Second quarter.
Whew. So I hit a woman with a golf ball at Penmar one time. That's why remember when I got my new golf clubs and I called you up and you helped me buy new golf clubs?
Yeah.
That's why. Because I had the same clubs for since I was a kid.
Wait a minute, that's why? Like you threw the clubs as evidence, you threw them in a gutter? And
no, I shanked a ball. I was just playing bad. And I shanked the ball off the tee box on 4. And it was like a line drive through the trees, which I still would have been fine, by the way. I could have hit back over onto the,
No one cares about your shot.
I do.
Yeah.
So I would have been fine, but it did not hit a single tree, was just screaming towards this woman.
Yeah.
And everyone in my group goes, 4! And everyone else in her group moved out of the way. She just turned around and looked at us, and it plunked her straight in the leg, and she just crumbled like a house of cards. And I just looked at her and went, oh, fuck. And then as I'm running towards her to check on her, I could hear her already going, oh,
was she old?
My knee. I mean, no, she was probably about
a lot of old people play there. A lot of retired people, yeah.
Well, when I got up to her, she already had a welt the size of a golf ball.
Oh, no.
And you're going to laugh at this. And so I was like, oh, my God. I was trying to be polite, whatever. And she was like, I just had knee surgery. I'm going
to laugh at that. I don't think that's funny. Not yet. Injured a woman?
This is what you're going to laugh at. So I sat there and trying to make, and then the guy who works there came out in the golf cart to check on her and to do the medical attention and give her a ride back. And it was that guy, David, who used to bartend at the Improv. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm like, all right, it's not like a lifeguard or anything. So I'm like, do you need me to check on you later? Can I get your phone number? I'll call and make sure you're okay.
What are you going to do with her phone number?
Well, she kept...
I'm not okay. I need new knee surgery. Well, good luck.
I forgot.
I'm not paying for it.
I forgot about this until Greg Fitzsimmons told me this part. I don't even remember this being true, but he says it is. So I tried for so much to be like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And she didn't even want to talk to me. She was just like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. No,
it's an
okay."
accident. It's a golf course, yeah.
But she was obviously mad, and
Be a better golfer.
So then Greg goes, after she told you 1,000 times not to worry about it, you sat there and hit your shot.
Right next to her?
Played it where it lied.
She's like lying on the ground?
Yeah, well, she might have been in the golf cart at that point, but she was still there. I just hit my shot.
Her day was done, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Today,
I hit my shot.
I was playing with my friend Cass, and today we got paired up with two dudes and I guess Monday mornings is like all these old dudes that know each other, right?
Yeah.
And these two guys knew each other, and this guy's teeing off on the first box, and I see this foursome in front of us, and I'm like, they're not that far, like maybe 200 yards.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe this guy doesn't hit it far, whatever. Dude, he stripes a drive straight down the middle.
Fuck.
And then the other guy that he's playing with, he goes, yo, and he goes, they didn't even say for you. Like, you're going to hit him. Dude, and he hits the guy's push cart. Like, hits the dude. I mean, and it ricocheted. It was like, I was like, yeah, I was wondering why you're doing that. And the guy takes his ball, picks it up, and throws it in the bunker. In the sand.
He should.
Yeah. And then, so we play the first or second hole. We catch up with him on the third hole. And he goes, hey, sorry, whatever. They know each other. He goes, oh, well, I wish I would have known it was you because I wouldn't have thrown it in the bunker. He thought it was like me or Cass. He was like, fuck these motherfuckers. Like, he was convinced it wasn't his friend. And then it was fine, which I thought was funny, but I was also like, what does that mean? Like, he's allowed to hit you, but we're not?
Yeah.
I'm fucking...
Friendly fire. That's friendly fire.
Yes.
I got hit one time at Palmetto Golf Course where I was in a cart and my buddy was getting ready to hit. So I pulled around into the tree line, and I was facing where he was hitting from, right? So I'm in the tree line, and he hits, and it's coming right at me, and I'm like, that can't get to me through the trees, can it? And I'm like, that's
staring at, that's just like this woman.
Yeah, I'm like, that's coming right at me.
It's like being a deer in headlights.
Right? So I fucking go like this. It goes through my golf cart.
Yeah.
I pop my head back up. It hit a tree behind me, came back, and hit me in the back of the head.
That hurt?
And I was like, and he's dying laughing.
Because the ricochet, it slowed it down a lot, right?
Oh, for sure. And I think it caught like kind of like the back of my hat.
Yeah.
So it didn't, I mean, but it's...
Who's dying? The guy that hit it?
Oh, yeah, my buddy Joe O'Connell. He's
Okay.
fucking dying. And I go, how about Dave? Are you okay? And he's like, oh God, all right. It hit the tree and came back at you.
Here's a story that was told to me where a golf ball... Okay, so Andrew Wontuck,
Andrew Wontuck.
he is a guy I work for. He was a producer on the Jim Jeffrey show, and I work on the golf shows with him. I work on golf shows. I'm not good at golf. I don't know much about golf, just so you know. But
That's how good he is at writing.
yeah, exactly. His dad was playing in Australia somewhere, maybe in Queensland or something, and he was on the tee box. Not his dad was playing with some people, and one of the people he was playing with, they're on the tee box, gets hit by a wayward shot in the chest, like straight on in the tee box, like full force. And the guy's like, oh shit, like gets knocked down. He's like rubbing his chest, like that hurts like shit, whatever. But the guy comes over, apologizes, whatever, they move on. The same guy's in a like sand trap, a couple holes or 3 or 4 holes, like maybe whatever later. He gets bit by a brown snake, which in Australia are super poisonous.
Oh.
The brown snake is like one of the most poisonous. I don't know. The Australian people, you can tell, but I think it's one of the most poisonous ones there. They airlift him. Like they call the clubhouse and they're like, you got bit by a brown snake, but they get a helicopter and airlift him. That's how poisonous it is. They give him the anti-venom at the hospital, whatever.
Goes back and finishes his round.
No, he's fine. And then the doctor's like, what's that on your chest? He goes, oh, I got hit by a golf ball. He goes, I want to check that out. That looks weird. And they like X-ray, MRI, whatever. He's internally bleeding.
Oh.
If they wouldn't have done it when they did it, they had to do surgery immediately. If they wouldn't have seen him, he would have probably bled out in an hour or two.
That snake saved his life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
Dude, that happened. My buddy Josh Harder, who basically lived with me. He's the guy who I put my balls through the doorknob.
When you said balls, we were talking about golf. I thought we were just talking about golf balls. I didn't know we we're going back to your testicles.
My nuts.
On the podcast I do with Jim, cum is mentioned every podcast. I feel like your balls are going to be mentioned on this podcast. It's not a good thing. I know. It's hilarious.
I'm right with it.
Yeah.
So my buddy Josh, who lived with me for a while in high school, like our parents knew each other and obviously, were friendly and everything, but they weren't like friends, they didn't hang out. And they were coming in town at one point. Like, this is when I think we'd already graduated college, and they were going to be in Miami. For some reason, they were like, his mom called up my mom and was like, can I take you to coffee? And she was wanting to be like, man, thank you for all the stuff you've done for Josh over the years. And, you know, your family's been special to him. And I don't know. They just had a moment, right? So my mom's really into horseback riding. So my mom was like, I'm going out to go horseback riding today. Do you want to go with me? And she was like, yeah, that'd be great. So I took her out. They went horseback riding. And Josh's mom then like had a reignited passion for horseback riding from when she was a little kid. And when she went back to Detroit, she found a place where she could go from time to time and rent a horse and go horseback riding, right?
What does it cost to rent a horse?
No idea. I'm sure it's very different depending on, it's like homeless people. There's different levels. So depends.
Renting a horse is like homeless people?
Well, if you want to rent a horse and go on like the Cracker Trail ride or something, then that's
what's that Cracker Trail? I don't know anything about horse riding.
It's what they call like a long
Sounds like it's
probably got racist roots.
White people
yeah,
only.
Probably got racist roots.
No, there's a thing called Florida Cracker, and that's not racist. That's what they call people that like started like in Florida. Like, I mean, they were like rednecky, but they call them a Florida Cracker.
Yeah,
you never heard that term?
Well, I've been called a cracker a lot.
The cracker. No, that's not what I'm
and
talking about.
I'm from Florida.
Yeah.
Man, you know how many times in my life I've heard, man, you're a crazy cracker.
Hey, Louise, as we're continuing this, can you look up Florida Cracker?
Yeah, check that out.
I get look.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So, anyways, she found a place
soggy.
she could rent a horse and go just kind of ride around this field, right?
The Cracker Trail.
So she goes out there. She's riding a horse. She's like, this is so great. I would have never been able to do. I would have never thought to do this if I didn't reconnect with Bonnie Williamson. And then a bunch of motorcycles came by, spooked the horse, threw her off the horse, and she cracked her skull. Mm-hmm. They rush her in for emergency surgery.
Yeah.
During the surgery, they find out she's got a brain tumor.
Yeah.
And they removed it. And she's fine.
Yeah.
She would have never known about the brain tumor until it was way too late if she hadn't got thrown off a horse.
Yeah, cool. When I used to work at the Dolphin swim
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Third quarter.
You know, I used to work at a dolphin place, right?
No, but it's the least surprising thing.
No.
Yeah.
My first job when I graduated when I got my degree from college was I did field trips with kids, like into the Everglades. Remember?
And you didn't know about the dolphin penis that could grab stuff?
No, I didn't. It never grabbed it. That's why I was like, I'm shocked that I didn't know that. So.
Sounds like you weren't giving these kids very much information about dolphins.
I feel bad that I didn't know that, but I'll tell you, I don't know tons about dolphins. I'll tell. Anyways, I had to. No. My first job wasn't dolphins. It was with the National Audubon Society.
Birds?
And no, it was just we would take kids to the Everglades. I would go into the school with like touch field tanks and like explain to them about coral reefs. We'd take them out on like different field trips and stuff like that. And I was like a quote unquote ranger outfit I would wear. And it was like basically the teachers and chaperones would be like day off. And I'd have to like deal with kids that were like 13 and they were trying to like figure out what their hormones were doing. And they were like, I like this guy, fuck this guy. You know, anyways, that was my first job. My second job was working at.
Wait, you wore a ranger outfit?
Pretty much, yeah.
What did it look like?
It was like khakis and you know, it wasn't a ranger outfit, but it was in that realm, you know.
Like a UPS driver?
I wasn't a ranger. No, I had a National Audubon hat and it was like a khaki shirt and shorts. You know,
Audubon means birds, right?
The Audubon's is Audubon. Yeah, it's related to birds. Yeah, but they have.
Hey, I'm impressed with myself.
It doesn't mean birds, but Audubon doesn't mean birds, but it's associated with birds. Yes, like the word doesn't mean birds. It was a guy's name. I'm pretty sure.
Isn't it also a German highway?
That's the Autobahn.
Oh,
Autobahn is AUD. AUDUBON.
So wait, what do you mean these kids had hormones and they were like trying to hook up in the Everglades, or you're out on a
John James Audubon. I was trying to remember his name. He was and I think he is famous because he drew birds. You know, like he made a very extensive books, identification books for birds, and that's how the name came. And then the Audubon Society got associated with that. But they do other things too. Don't worry about this. The kids. Yeah. I can talk about it some other time. But the Dolphin swim place I worked at was called Dolphins Plus, and it was a place where part of it was there was like some therapy. They would do work with kids that had autism and different disabilities and things like that. And then the other part of it was they'd have like people could come there and swim with them, but it was like a free swim. They weren't trained to do stuff. Well, there was two sections. One of them would be trained, and the other one was a free swim area.
Wait. The dolphins?
What do you mean?
So there was 2 sections. One where you could swim with trained dolphins, and one where you could just swim with wild dolphins and take your luck. They were like, hey.
They were all technically trained because most of them were born in
But it
captivity.
was like, which experience can...
Yeah. You could do an experience where like...
experience can you afford? The one with safe dolphins or the wild cards?
I don't think there was a difference in price. One of them was like, do you want to hold on to its fin and get pushed by the rostrum on your feet and stuff like that?
Or do you want one to try to rape you?
No, do you just want to snorkel around and have a natural interaction with it, which is probably worth more because it comes up right to you and looks with the eye and it'll play with you like if there's a toy on the ground like or something like that. Like they found like sometimes they'd find a piece of a chain on the bottom and they'd bring it up and bring it to you.
Full of money.
Yeah, exactly. And when I worked there, I would give the briefings before you went to the water with the dolphins. I'm like, these are the do's and don'ts. And I would talk about some dolphin physiology and stuff like that. Did not know about the prehensile penis, but that wasn't part of the briefing that we would give. Yeah. Like, hey, they also have a penis that can grab you. If you want, but
either experience, they both have penis grabbers.
Yeah, no. If one of them grabs you by the penis, with the penis, let it happen. Every day when I got there, I would actually, there was sea lions that were like, there was a marine mammal rescue program there too. So they had some animals that were, like they found these baby sea lions like got birth and their mother had died, so they put them in there and they raised them there, Wono and Sass, and I used to feed them and hang out there and fix their
with your teat.
Yeah, I'd feed them fish. Oh. They'd come sliding up on the deck and I'd feed them fish. But once in a while I'd give them the teat. Anyways, dolphins. We had so many stories there of dolphins. Like basically, many women would come there and find out they were pregnant, for instance.
Wait, what?
Because dolphins have sonar. That's like their sense where they basically are sending a wavelength of sound out and then it bounces back and they receive that on what people say is their nose a lot of times, but it's actually the rostrum, which is like kind of like, their mouth, the protuberance there. It's called the rostrum, and their jaw is very hollow and filled with fluid. So it is very sensitive to picking up,
babies
sound waves. So they'd send out from that melon at the top of their head, the little bump, they'd send out some sonar, they'd receive it back and they can get a visual picture of things going on, whether it's like the coral reef or fish or something like that.
Damn, dude.
But they can also scan your body and see inside. So
dolphins are like superheroes.
When I was young, I would go there and there was a dolphin that when I got older, I had a metal plate in my arm that I never had when I was younger. And the dolphin knew me and recognized me and then came up and just started putting its rostrum against my arm like that, just scanning it and being like, what the hell is that? Yeah, it was like like clicking. They don't sound like Flipper, like
they don't sound like
like
they don't sound like that.
Not at all. Like click. I can't do it.
How does Hollywood make dolphins sound? They're like,
I can't even do it. Yeah,
like
something like that. No, try again.
Wait, let me see if I can make the chair move. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I feel like I should be better at dolphin impressions than this.
Try it one more time.
All right, here we go. Ready? Is that good?
No, but I just wanted you to keep doing it.
Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest football team. All right.
So they can see inside of your body, basically, in their scan. And so that's why when they did therapy with kids with autism, for instance, because their cerebellums are underdeveloped, they would be able to see that. And they would, they are different parts of their brains were undeveloped. They would be able to see that, and they would know this human has, I need to handle with like, quote unquote kid gloves, and they would be more gentle with those kids and stuff. But women would come there, and I'm talking about like, you only had to be like 3-4 weeks pregnant, and they get in the water. And what dolphins do when a dolphin is pregnant is they have one of the female dolphins will be basically a quote unquote midwife. They will shadow that dolphin, protect it the whole time it's pregnant. They also help with the birth and stuff, but they're like, I'm going to be your bud until you're giving birth. And it's like, they want to do it, right? So what will happen when a dolphin is pregnant, they'll argue and compete. Like, I'm going to do it. It's basically like, I'm going to do it. And then they'll work it out until one of them's like, I'm going to be, as a midwife is the best way to put it. So there'll be times when women were swimming, like in the free swim, just swimming around. And then they would get in the corner. There'd be two other dolphins like, they'd be like basically arguing on top of the water. And the woman's like, what what is going on?
Yeah.
What do I do? Or like, okay, turn on your back, swim back to the dock. Everything's fine. You're fine.
You're 12 weeks pregnant.
No, we wouldn't yell it across the fucking water. But when we come in the dock, and then inevitably the boyfriend or husband over there, she'd come back and they'd be like, what happened? I'm like, come on over here. We'd like,
But you would know that that's what the dolphins were saying?
100% the activity was like, that girl's pregnant. That's
Really?
Yeah. And I never did this, but like one of my bosses, they bring him in the corner like, you might want to do a pregnancy test. And sometimes it was like, we're pregnant? All right. And other times like, oh shit. And they're like, and some people are like, there's no way. And we're like, they're 100% accurate. These guys. It's like,
wow.
Yes.
Man, do you know if I had had that information 16 years ago, I would have definitely arranged the greatest gender reveal ever. And probably the first one ever because they weren't gender. Do you know if gender reveals were a thing?
They can't do gender reveals. I don't think.
Well, my dolphins would.
Yeah.
Because
the shootout blew something out of their blowhole.
Yeah, they'd either go get the blue ring or the pink ring from down below, and they'd come up and go.
You know what? I don't. To be honest, I don't know if they can tell gender. There is a world where they might be able to tell gender.
I bet they can.
Yeah,
I bet they can. I believe in them.
I don't know. Maybe they.
Do you know if gender reveals were not a thing when I was having babies, but I would have definitely been that guy.
Yeah,
I would have come up with something good.
Oh, here's another one. The dolphin thing. Just one more. This guy one time was swimming, doing the free swim, and swimming around, and every single dolphin came up and like started touching him in the shoulder right here, really gently. They just kept doing it over and over, and then
one came up and ripped it off.
And then the guy came over. He goes, "What's going on?" And they go, I didn't say this, but again, one of the guys I work for, he goes, we're not quite sure, but you should probably get that checked out. Like, just go to a doctor and tell them. Yeah.
Don't tell them what actually happened. Just tell them you need your shoulder checked.
No, you would tell them, like, dolphins.
Hey, porpoises are really attracted to my left shoulder.
No, because I think they said, like, do you have a metal? I think it was like, do you have a metal plate? Do you have anything in there?
Yeah.
Did you have any surgery done there? And I was like, no. And then the guy called back like 2 weeks later and he had a benign tumor there.
Whoa.
And it got removed and it wasn't like threatening, but still, like, they were looking at that shit. Like, yeah, that's not supposed to be there. That's not, because they would look at humans all day. Like, this is what a human looks like. And they'd be like, anytime they'd see anything off, they'd be like, all right, there you go.
It'd be wild if the dolphins like tried to help so much. They were like, we should rip this tumor out of him.
Slap him with a tail.
Yeah. What are they doing? They're trying to save you. Let them do it. How can we use, other than just detecting stuff, how could we use these skills that the dolphins have?
Well, the military does. The military puts weaponizes
straps guns to their head,
which is not probably good for them, I would say.
Well, I mean, could be kind of fun for them.
Well, think about if they have something on that's strapped to their rostrum in the front, and it's like even if it's like a gun or something, and there's any. I just told you how sensitive they are to sound and stuff like that. That can't be good for them.
You don't think like rat-tat-tat-tat-tat is good?
I don't think any of it's good. They're dolphins. They're like...
Well, also the enemy will fire back, so that's probably not good for them.
Dolphins are our friends. They've saved people. They're protecting. They're like telling you if you're pregnant, got tumors and stuff, and we want to weaponize them. Like
there's a dolphin that's got lasers strapped all around it. We've got it out in battle, and the dolphin's just yelling at the Russian forces, "You have a tumor."
Yeah. No, I think
if you survive today, you should get that checked out.
I think they do a thing for like finding mines in the ocean and stuff. They send them out and they'll scan everything and they can tell them where shit is. Like I don't know all this for certain because I'm not in the military and I'm sure it's like all secretive, but I think they've done a lot of shit.
Yeah, you remember that show Sequest?
Of course, yeah. Sequest was not Johnny Quest.
No, Sequest was like
they were on a boat.
Yeah, and they had a pet dolphin that they would send out on missions like that.
Yeah.
What if I gave you a dolphin and you just had a pet dolphin in an outdoor pool outside your place?
Well, you wouldn't want it in the pool, but yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
They're shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, what's your scenario?
How long would it take you, Forrest Shaw, today to teach that dolphin how to do a trick?
I don't know how to teach dolphins how to do tricks. I didn't do any training there. I barely fed dolphins there.
It's got to be just like a dog, though, right? You just like reward them.
I barely fed dolphins there because there's a relationship there with. I fed the sea lions, which are much easier. They're like dogs. They're just like, we want food, and dolphins was like this relationship you build with them. So I didn't do that much. And so as far as teaching them tricks, I don't know how to do any of that shit. I can't teach. I can barely teach my own fucking dog what to do, you know, like, but,
that's a good point.
But I don't think, I don't know. You wouldn't want it in a pool anyways. So.
It's sad.
These weren't in pools. These were in like canals and like, they were in like natural water.
Man-made canals.
They're man-made, but there was like coral and sponges and fish, and there was and there wasn't hard surfaces.
Well, yeah, I do remember at SeaWorld they had. Is that where you were? SeaWorld?
No, it was in the Keys.
Oh, in SeaWorld. Oh yeah, I know
can
that
go
place.
by there.
I know that place.
There's a couple of them. There's Dolphin Research Center. It's not where I was at.
Can we swim with the dolphins in our tails? Or will they think we're a food source and attack us?
We could probably swim in our tails with a dolphin.
Because that'd be pretty dope.
I think we could. Can you swim, Louise? No?
I can hold my own, but
Didn't you say you learned how to swim?
not real. Look, my arms will do the
Wait.
the
you
stroking.
That's not what you want to hear. I can hold my own.
Yeah, what does that mean?
What, again, you versus the elements? Like, we're not asking you to race. Or said, can you swim?
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, it's not a competition.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just.
I mean, I wouldn't die immediately.
Yeah, we're not asking you to race Michael Phelps.
Yeah. We're just asking you, can you stay afloat? And you did not answer that confidently.
Because I was pretty sure you can't swim.
I mean, I can't. The reality is I can't really. Like, if you were to drop me in a 10-foot pool and there's no...
Okay, so you can swim in a 2-foot pool, which is just standing in water. You're not swimming.
I could swim from the deep end to the not deep end, and I'll be fine.
You sound like a child right now.
If I'm, like, deep in the ocean, that's it. Because I can't tread water.
Can we teach you to swim? Dave and I used to be a swim instructor. Dave is a good swimmer.
Yeah, I thought Jesus Trejo.
Get in line, buddy. There's, like... So many people want to like teach me about.
I know, but for this podcast, can we like record us giving you swimming lessons?
Only if you do it in the Mertail.
Yeah, sure. I just think this is content that people want, is Louise learning to swim. Because I asked this because in September we are going to go down to Florida, and it looks like we're going to go to the Keys and do some shows in Key West as well. And this means we're going to spend some time in the Keys. If we go to the Keys, I'd like to spend time. I have a friend that does fishing charters down there that maybe we could go out with, in the Middle Keys. I have friends down there that are musicians that play at really cool on the water bars that we could stop by and see them.
What's that dude? Is that dude named Michael Tricks?
The magician? Yeah, I know Michael Tricks. We could see him. He'll usually be performing with other friends of mine that are musicians. Yeah, I'm friends with Michael Tricks. Yeah. Do you know Michael Tricks?
I got a story about him.
Oh, yeah. What, did you meet him from me?
No. I used to do this thing. Wait, I'm seeing him Jesus Trejo.
What's that? Oh, anyways, Michael Tricks is a magician based in the Florida Keys. He's a good magician. He's a very good magician, and I know him well, and I know a lot of the people he usually works with on shows. So, I mean, my point is, Louise, is like we need you up and swimming for the Keys, because there's a world where we could swim with dolphins.
So well, we put a life jacket on him. He'll be fine.
I don't know.
Just put a life jacket on him. Let him bob around.
Yeah, you can hold your own. Yeah, we won't do the free swim. We're not gonna have you snorkel and stuff.
Yeah.
But we could teach you, Dave and I can teach you how to snorkel in a pool.
Easy peasy, bro.
Yeah, we can get you up and running.
People people never die from drowning.
I taught kids that didn't know anything, and I feel like if you're already where you're at, we have you up and running.
We'll have you on the side of the hotel at the Comedy Inn. On the side, we'll go blow bubbles. All right, kick your feet, blow bubbles.
Put your face in once, now twice, now 3 times.
And then we just grab your face and hold it under. And we're like, don't struggle. And then that's how you learn.
What stroke do you do?
The basic one,
The crawl?
Yeah, I guess so.
Doggy paddle.
Yeah, crawl. Yeah. That's what you're doing. Yeah, is that how you do it? He just was like this. like a shitty Frankenstein.
The thing is, so I went to like Stagecoach 3 years ago or so, and we had an Airbnb, and I was with nothing but like swimmers,
And you were sober. Yeah.
But I told him, I was like, I can't swim. Or it's like I could swim across, but I
You went to Stagecoach. This is more.
Yeah,
this is more shocking than.
That sounds more dangerous than swimming.
If people don't know, Stagecoach is the Coachella.
Of
it's in the
country
same
music,
location, but of country music. Coachella is basically what it is. If you don't know what Coachella is, I don't know how to help you. So, and so you tried to swim in this pool?
Well, so in my mind, like when I say I can hold my own, I could swim from one end to the other, but like I don't know technique or whatever. I just do it, and I travel. And so I get back and I'm like, yeah, that was fucking sick. But when I take my head out of the water, everyone's cracking up of laughter. I'm like,
yeah, because you're probably just like, I already know how you swim. Without seeing you swim, I know how you swim.
Probably because you were crying.
You're probably bending your knees while you're kicking. You're flat. You're just thrashing and you're just staying afloat. Dave, I mean, look, Dave's in the water all the time. I'm barely in pools anymore, but I could still swim really well, and I could. Yeah, Dave can get you with the water polo guys.
Yeah, come out to polo practice.
Yeah, polo practice. You still got polo practice?
Yeah.
Water polo. What do you say,
Why not?
polo or water polo?
I mean, polo for short, if you're in the know.
Water polo? Okay. How's that
Sometime.
going?
It's good. My kid had a tournament this weekend. He's doing real well, man. It's fun. It's so fun watching my kid play.
Is he better than you?
Yeah.
A lot better?
Well, I mean, I didn't play till,
But he's better than. Well, do you think he's going to be better than you in the end?
yeah.
He's going to continue playing?
I think he wants to play in college. Yeah.
Yeah. What schools can you
Now-
get a scholarship to?
I don't know if he's better than what I could have been if I had had all the opportunities he's had.
All right, now you're trying to,
Well, I mean, what do you
make him feel bad there.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to answer your question. Like my potential versus his potential, who knows? But Carter is amazing. He's so coachable. He's fast, which I never was. He can play any position, and he's just
Not annoying.
yeah, it's not annoying. Yeah, he's a good player, man.
That was so sad when you agreed to that.
What?
Yeah, not annoying.
Yeah, he's not. He's
Are there
every coach would be lucky to have a kid like him on their team in any sport.
Are there referees in water polo?
Oh wait, let me tell you about Michael Tricks real quick. But yes, I got some referee shit for you.
Okay, well we gotta. Okay, our guest is here. He's not even gonna be. Okay, go ahead.
I used to do
Is
this.
it a bad story? I'm friends with Michael Tricks.
No,
I
no,
wasn't
no.
anything bad.
No, it's not bad at all. I used to do this thing when I'd get on airplanes. This was like early days of social media, right? It was like Facebook. And I would take pictures of people as they were boarding the plane. Like I would snap a photo without them knowing it. And then I would write I called it hashtag fake plane backstory game. That's what I
I know
called
you
it.
used to do this. Adam Ray does this now.
Yeah, he does, right?
Yeah.
I messaged him and I went, hey, man, these are really funny. I used to do something kind of like this back in the day. And they didn't write me back. So,
Yeah, because it sounds like you're accusing him.
I know. But
His
also,
are like celebrity. He makes up who the celebrity is.
but also I did it like 15 years ago. So,
I remember you doing that now,
Yeah.
and that's how long ago it was. Is I've seen Adam Ray's, and it
Yeah.
didn't even occur to me you used to do that until you said it. Yeah,
yeah, and it was fun because I would come up with like, one of them. I would.
I enjoy these. I enjoy Adam Ray's. Good
Yeah.
content. Adam Ray's got good content.
He does. He's
does
got
that-
a lot of
he
different
does that-
bits he does.
That
Yeah.
Sean character,
Yeah, that's great.
that one kills me.
I wonder how scripted that is because he just rattles off.
I think
these
he
fucking
scripts some of
monologues.
it because it's too the writing's really funny in
Yeah.
it. It's like writing to
Yeah.
I saw him at the Improv there, and I just said hi to him, and then I didn't see him again, and I was like, I meant to tell him like, hey, but anyways, Adam Ray, if you're listening, good stuff.
So, but the way I would do it is I would, I didn't have that many followers. I mean, I was doing it because it made me laugh, I would snap a photo. I would come up with a fake backstory for that person.
Yeah.
I would hashtag it, and then you'd have to turn your phone off to fly. And then my favorite thing was when I landed, turn my phone on and hear read all the comments of what people wrote. People were into it. So I did that. I'm sitting on the plane one time, and I see Michael Tricks coming down.
But wait, you know him? Didn't you
No,
meet him
I-
with me and the keys?
No, I did not know him at all.
Okay, yeah.
And I just see
And
his,
by the way, Michael Tricks, you can look him up. It's Trixx. And he's like a rock and roll magician.
Yeah.
So he used to be in bands back in the day. I think he's from Massachusetts. If I forgot that wrong, Michael. Sorry, but he used to be in a bunch of rock bands, and then he got into magic. But he does like magic with rock music and stuff. He's a very good up close magician, but also general magician. But he has an outfit like leather, very like slashy. Looks like kind of slash a little bit. Yeah.
So I see him coming down the aisle, and I go, "Oh, that's my guy." He had like a hint of eyeliner,
Yeah, he probably
and
had
this was like a real tan dude. But I'm like, "Oh, that's my guy."
Yeah,
so
super tan, yeah.
I snap a photo. I made some joke about,
Where were you flying from? Miami?
I was flying from somewhere to Miami.
Yeah, because he does gigs in like comedy clubs and things like
Yeah.
that. So, yeah. Keep going.
So I rushed to upload it, right? Because I always like to upload it before I take off, so I can read the comments when I land. And he keeps coming down the aisle, and he sits next to me. And I go, oh, all right. And so I starts talking to me, and we start talking. And then your name came up. And
because you said comedy, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
And then we
go.
hit it off, and we're like buddies.
Did
and
you tell
whatever.
me this? And this is
Probably,
out of my
yeah.
mind? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
So we hit it off. So then this is the first time this has ever happened to me, obviously. The second we land, he goes, hey, man, I'm going to follow you. And he
no.
And I go, okay. Like, and I'm trying. I didn't know how to delete a post.
What did you say he was?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but you would say something like,
But I said something probably like, the Vince Neil's brother, who's like always been jealous, but he got into accounting or something. I don't know. Something like that. That's the kind of shit I would do.
Yeah. So did he already follow you, or you deleted it before he?
I don't remember. He definitely followed me, and I might have just rolled with it. I might have just been like, if he sees it, he sees it.
I don't think Michael. I don't know if he listens to the podcast. I do follow him on Instagram. I'm gonna have to tell him.
Well, I stopped posting it before that person would sit down. I'd take the photos then, and then I'd wait and make sure they weren't sitting next to me, and then I'd post it.
That's funny. Well, hopefully he'll be there when we go down there. I'll have to check a schedule. We'll get part 2 of Michael Tricks. Hey, Louise, how long have we been going?
45.
Can you grab them from outside real quick?
Yep.
All right. We have guests. We're doing 2 podcasts today.
Nice.
Yes.
Is it Mike and his wife?
I think so, yeah. It's definitely Mike. I think his wife's. I think D's with him too. Yeah.
Cool.
Guests from the comedy in.
Fourth quarter.
Do you want to get into referees? Or you want to save that?
Yeah, you said you have stories about referees. I just asked if there was referees in water polo. I just imagine, are they swimming around?
Bro.
Are they swimming around?
Everyone always asks that.
That's
no.
why I thought of it. That's why I brought it up. Yeah.
No, referees, you got to wear white head to toe, and then you walk on the side.
cricket.
You walk on the side of the pool.
Okay.
And
Checks out.
yeah, I refereed for a few years when I first moved out here.
Can't you do dirty moves underwater?
Yeah, a lot.
And then people don't know. Referees don't know.
No, but
that
a lot.
guy just grabbed my dick.
A lot
Did
of
that
it
happen? Dick
yeah.
grabbing?
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a story about that.
Well, we won't have that much time.
All right,
Let me pick your fucking poison today and then write down the stories you want to retell.
Okay.
I got tons more dolphin stories.
Yeah.
Could have talked about being a ranger. I'm holding them off.
Okay. All right.
It's called willpower.
All right. I'll tell a story about when I grabbed someone's dick.
That's what you're talking about today?
Yeah, I'll tell that, and I'll tell one referee story.
Just tell referee stories.
Okay.
Dick stories on the next podcast.
Yeah, dick stories. Stay tuned.
Yeah. All dick.
So this was, I hated refereeing, first of all. I hated it. And it made me sympathetic to referees because people are just super unreasonable. But at the same time, I hate referees.
Well, you need them.
You need them. It's a thankless job, but there's so many bad ones that nobody wants. It's like politics. Nobody wants to do it because everyone else in that industry has made the position look bad.
I mean, look,
So then you get yelled at by other people's frustration.
I've watched many sporting events where I'm rooting for a team.
And it doesn't get better at the pro level. It's bad, through and through.
This is what I'll tell you. I've watched many refereeing in many sporting events that I'm a fan of and teams that have been fucked over. But I would say I still think that those people are doing a better job than anyone else can do.
It's hard.
Yeah.
What-
Like sometimes they will call a foul, and I'm like, that wasn't a foul, and then slow motion happens. They never get credit for that. I'm like, how the fuck did they see that?
Yeah.
Like he just totally grabbed his wrist, and I didn't even see. It's like they are seeing, and the baseball strike zone, like that's hard.
Yeah.
So I know they're human. So I look. There's times I fucking hate them, but I also am like, man, hats off, you guys.
Well, that's the problem. Is that
99% of the time you're doing a good
people
job.
are so quick to get mad when they get one little thing wrong, but they'll never be like, "Hey, man, you did a good job." You know,
Yeah, great job reffing this game.
Yeah.
Really got all the calls right.
So, with that said, though, I feel like when it's real messed up is when, like, for example, we drove out to Vegas to see my son play a soccer tournament, right?
They're here.
And, hey, buddy,
Louise cleaned up for you.
yeah,
This is clean, by the way. Just so you know.
he
Doesn't clean up for us.
He had to
all
give
right?
his cat away just because he knew you guys were coming over.
All right, sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted your story.
It's all right.
I don't care.
It's okay.
No.
So we've drove out to Vegas. These kids are playing their ass
Is
off.
this short, the story?
It can be.
Okay, yeah. You should make it short.
All right.
No.
Duly noted.
Yeah, and then if you make it short, you can tell the dick grabbing story.
Okay, deal. Let me hurry up.
No.
So there's one game that just went 0-0. And at the end of the game, this kid sprung free, was going down the field, made this awesome goal, and would have been an amazing memory for these kids that we won 1-0 after this battle. And then the stupid referee, just because they're bored and want to make it about them, goes offsides. And I'm like, I was standing right there. And I'm like, how could you make that? It's such a judgment call of like an inch. At that point, at that level, like I get it if it's the World Cup or some shit, but at that point, just let the goal go in. And these kids are never going to look back 20 years from now and go, man, you know what was awesome? I have this memory about how we had a 0-0 game and the referee made this awesome call, man. Referee really nailed it, you know?
This just happened?
Yeah. But I'm like, you know what the kid will remember? This one time that we were in this battle and we made a goal in the last minute, and and that's how you like get kids passionate about the sport. And just the thing that makes me mad is when the referees make it about themselves. Yeah. It happens more often than not.
You solve this problem? Don't have kids.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too, is that how emotional you get when you're watching your team and you feel like the referee is like out to get you and it's going to cost you the game. And then people get fucking unreasonable and they're like, this referee hates us. And it's even worse when you're watching your kid, because you're like, it's not just a player you like. Now it's like a kid that you hoped would like to play this sport, and then so he didn't like it for years, and then you finally got him into it, and he's like, I kind of like it. And then he's out there and he's battling, and you tell him like, do things the right way and good things will happen, and he's doing everything the right way and he's going to practice, and then all of a sudden the referee just is hung over that day and doesn't feel like paying attention and and calls it against it. Now that player is going to be like, I don't want to play soccer anymore, Dad. This is kind of boring. Every game's 0-0. And you're just like, I spent years of emotion getting this kid to this point, and then some referee's going to phone it in and then just like kill his passion for this sport. That's why the parents go fucking nuts on the sideline.
All right, tell the dick grabbing story.
Hopefully I'm going to tell a referee story instead. I'll save the dick grabbing for another one. So when I was refereeing...
Another referee story?
Yeah, this is a good one.
That one wasn't even fun. That was just you like angry about this.
Not everything's fun, Forrest. I know, but educated people...
I just watched you vibrate for 10 my fucking kids.
Well, that's what it's like, bro.
Give a shit.
I will say this for referees. When you're reffing, it is harder to see the game, because when you know the kids and you know the sport and you know, like, that kid's like a sweet kid, he would never hit another kid. You don't know that, like, when you're just a ref looking at people play. And if a kid swings his arm, like, if you know the kid, you'd be like, oh, that was inadvertent, whatever. But if you're a referee, you're like, I think that kid just like punched another kid, like, so it is harder when you're trying to watch both sides, you're trying to be unbiased, and you don't have any backstory or context for anything in the game. So I will give you that, referees. But when I was reffing, the worst thing that happened to me was I was reffing this City League playoff game.
You were a referee?
Yeah, for a couple of years. Yeah. And you wear the whole white outfit, and then you stop to get Gatorade at the gas station.
Did you think about people's kids when you're refereeing?
What do you mean?
Or did you make some calls that were controversial?
Oh, I made a lot of dude.
You just gave this whole fucking speech.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. But I know my heart, and I never like made a call because I was like mad at a coach or mad at a player or had money on the game. I made a call because I thought it was the right call.
Wait, people have money on these games?
No, but I'm just using
kids water polo.
Well, like
I'm
NBA.
a degenerate gambler.
NBA and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's corrupt though. I watch the NBA and I know it's corrupt.
But you got to go in. You got to go into the. It's all you have to wear all white, and my biggest fear was always that I would like shit my pants.
Period or something.
Shit my pants, and like because you're not hiding that.
Wait,
dude.
How many times have you shit your pants
in my life?
I think we've talked about that. Right?
I mean, like legit pants shitting, where I would like be
shit,
like maybe 3.
Wow, that's a lot. I don't think I've shit my pants ever. Didn't we talk about this already?
Probably. One time I
farted and that thing.
Yeah, you sharted.
Yeah, but not
when you're wearing white underwear and white pants and you just maybe even just shart a little bit, you could be worried that someone's there's bleachers of people behind you just staring at your back.
That's like even if I was wearing all white, that wouldn't even be, that'd be like 10th on my list. Like spilling salad dressing on her, so it would be more than shitting.
I'm not saying it was a reasonable fear. I'm just saying it's something that I worried about.
Is it because because everyone saw your ass when you're the referee?
Yeah, they're just standing behind you.
So you think the crowd's looking at your ass for
yeah.
this? No one's even looking at you, I think, in this match. In a water polo match?
If you do your job well, you're like an offensive lineman. If
you think
you're doing your job well, no one notices you.
This is a great game. And then someone's like, I can't even pay attention. I'm just staring at
if
the
you're walking in front of them, and
great.
then one person notices, did that referee shit his pants? And then they start whispering, and everyone's like, I think that referee shit his pants. Like, Yeah.
Okay, let me give you a tip. If you're ever refereeing again and you shit your pants, just walk away.
Just leave.
what do you like? You got to stay in the game. Like,
why can't we start
shit my pants? But the kids. It's all about the kids.
Why can't we start the second quarter? Referees in the shooter.
Yeah, just walk away. If you shit your pants and you're wearing all white in front of a crowd, just walk off. Yeah. I'm just a tip to you.
So I was reffing this City League playoff game.
Oh, there's more stories?
Yeah.
I gotta.
All right, this is the last one.
Wrap it up.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm reffing this City League playoff game, and it's chaos, right? It's a very low level, that level. And I'm watching these teams, and I'm like, these are the teams that made the playoffs? I'm like, holy shit. And they're just like, they're two teams that don't like each other, and the stands were packed. And it was this like pool where the stands were up a little bit. So it literally felt like the parents were like breathing down my neck, right? And there was kickouts left and right, sending people to the penalty boxes.
What's kick out?
It's like sending someone to the penalty box for hockey.
Okay. Kick out.
So then at one point, one of the girls, they score a goal, and then they got to line up in the middle of the pool after every goal, right? So one of the girls comes over to me and she goes, "Mr. Referee, number 17 grabbed my suit and pulled my titty out," like that, right? And I'm like, man, these coaches have not taught these kids.
Why does she sound like
anything.
that, by the way?
Because she was like ghetto.
There's like inner city water polo.
I'm just telling you that the situation I was in that moment.
I feel like
that was what the girl sounded like.
Such an elitist thing. Okay, all right.
So
It sounds like a movie. Yeah. Okay.
So
Tits out.
you're not supposed to like coach the kids. Obviously, when you're reffing, you're supposed to be unbiased and just be there to
Yeah,
call
you're
the
certainly
game, right?
not supposed to talk about their
Right.
breasts. Yeah.
But I felt bad because what a coach should have told her is that if another player's grabbing your suit, you can't just like stay underwater because the referee will never see it. You have to kick up so that they'll see, even if it's just the surface of the water.
So you told her that she has to expose herself.
Well, I didn't want it to get in trouble for coaching or helping, so I lowered my voice and I went, what I was gonna say is, if they're grabbing your suit, you have to make it apparent to the referee that it's happening.
Sounds like you want, sounds like you're a perv.
But the way it came out of my mouth was, you have to show me, and then she goes, "I'm not gonna show you my titties." Loud. And all the parents were like, "What?" Right? So
you know what you should have done? Shit your pants then.
hey guys, look, I shit my pants.
Yeah. Wait, that shit his pants. We're like, ah.
So it looked like they scored a goal. We're lining up. I leaned over to whisper, like, psh, 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 and then she goes, "I'm not going to show you my titties." Like, and I was just like, "All right, game on." And I quit refereeing and started coaching again after that. I was like, I'm done with this shit.
All right, before we leave, did you look up Florida cracker?
Yeah. I did.
What is it? What's the definition?
1 moment, please.
Florida cracker, everybody.
Well,
I feel like it's not negative, but don't remember.
because are we looking for like the Urban Dictionary?
No,
version?
not Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
Like, what is a Florida cracker?
It says
Like,
Florida crackers were colonial era British American pioneer settlers in what is now the U.S. state of Florida.
Yeah, that's it. Because my grandfather used to always say that, the Florida crackers, and I'd be like, "What the fuck are you? That's some cracker ass." All right, so wait, colonial what? Who?
Colonial era British American pioneer
Arab?
era. Colonial
oh.
era.
Oh, they said colonial Arab. I was like, I don't know.
Well, so we were right. It's racist. Everything colonial era is racist.
Yeah, they're still, but then maybe that's where cracker comes from. I don't know.
The term cracker?
I don't know.
Isn't it from cracking a whip?
That's way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good way to end the show.
Hey, come see Forrest and I at our tour dates, everybody. More history lessons.
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
2 minutes left. 2 minutos.
Next week is a Cinco de Mayo episode, right?
Yeah. It
All
is,
right, cool. We'll have some fun with that.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be soon, Forrest?
Right now, I'm in Europe with Jim.
Oh, are you having fun right now in Europe?
Pretty good time. Right now, I think I'm in Copenhagen. So pretty dope.
Nice.
Here's Dave's dumb paper calendar. He only writes stuff down on a paper calendar. The worst. I told you that I used to hang leases out the window, right?
Yeah, you've already shamed me for this plenty.
You don't think that that's fun? I thought that was fun.
Oh, hey guys, this Thursday.
Who does this?
What?
Your calendar's infuriating to me that you just
You don't
have,
like my color coding?
No, that you have a paper calendar still. Like,
Yeah. May
it's like
4th.
scribbled out.
Yeah, but see, watch how I know all my tour dates, and you're just like,
I know my tour dates.
Go
I'm
to
in
my.
Europe.
I'm in Europe, right?
Go to forshaw.net. I'm gonna be
Go
at
to the website because I'm digital.
I'm gonna be at the Comedy Nest in Montreal,
Dolphin trainer.
July 6th through 8th, and then I'll be at the Philadelphia Punchline July 9th. Is that good? The dates?
That's good,
Just put
man.
them in my head.
I mean, they could be wrong.
Yeah.
May 4th, I'm going to be in Louisville, the Louisville Comedy Club, Indiana. I'll be at Helium on Cinco de Mayo and 6 de Mayo. I'm going to be in St. Louis at Helium on May 7th.
Why didn't you just say 5th through 7th? That was weird the way you did that.
Because I speak Spanish sometimes. I'm from Miami.
You're gonna be at the
Spanglish.
you're gonna be at the Helium St. Louis May 5th through 7th.
Nope, you got it wrong. I'm going to be in Indianapolis, 5th and 6th, and I'm going to be in St. Louis on the 7th.
Oh.
So if you had it written down, you would know this for us.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I didn't listen.
Chicago Improv I'm going to be there June 29th to July 1st. Excited about that. Come see me in Schaumburg. Let me move.
I'm thinking to go to August.
Grand Rapids coming there in August. And then Vegas at the end of August. I'm going to have a lot more dates added by the time this episode comes out. And in September, guess what we're doing?
I know what we're doing. We're going to Mike's place.
Me, Forrest, and possibly Luis, if we can find a way to pay for him. Yeah. We're going to Florida.
Man.
We're going to do a couple dates down
Luis can't swim. He
Key
can't
West.
Go to Florida.
Oh, yeah. You got to learn how to swim by May.
Yeah. No, September.
September. Yeah, by
you just
September.
said it. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna test them.
We're going to meet the Comedy Inn. Yeah. What are the dates? It's in your
calendar. Oh, shit.
22nd and 23rd. I know what it is. It's called a joke. Maybe you should look it up, dude. Yeah. 22nd and 23rd. It's right over there. The owner of the place sitting right over there. He's coming to just check it out, make sure he still wants us, you know. I think we're going to do a podcast and some tales. We're going to do some Key West dates. Yeah.
Yep. And we're probably going to add 1 or 2 more South Florida dates before then. So come see us, DaveWilliamsonComedy.com, at DaveW on Instagram. If you like barbecue, listen to the Meet Dave podcast. I'm wearing my velour Meet Dave tracksuit today.
Yeah. Buy some rub.
Buy some rub.
Yeah, I'll get it to you.
Let's go eat lunch.
For they are the mermen.